Hi, Larry Buxton here. Welcome to Leading with Spirit. Bernie Madoff's death a week ago didn't bring any post-mortem tributes or critical reappraisals. A lawyer in the original case was right when he said no one is going to mourn Bernie Madoff, which strikes me as one of the saddest things anybody could possibly say about another person. Madoff, you may remember, began serving a 150-year sentence for his massive fraudulent investment schemes back in 2009. And in the years immediately after that, a Harvard business professor began holding telephone interviews with Madoff, asking him how he would explain what he did. Dr. Eugene Soltis then included Madoff's remarks in the book he published, Why They Do It, about white-collar criminals. In hindsight, when I look back, Madoff said, it wasn't as if I couldn't have said no, but I sort of rationalized that what I was doing was okay, that it wasn't going to hurt anybody. Madoff's crime started with controversial but legal actions. His financial activities began to include payment for order flow and naked shorting, empty terms to me, but actions that were both scandalous and yet not technically illegal. We know that leadership culture then and now often celebrates pushing the envelope, being edgy, bending the letter of the law enough to justify your actions. Madoff did that, and he was praised for being unconventional. But in so doing, he began to blur the boundary lines between legal and illegal. Looking back, Madoff noted, I started to go off the tracks, but I was able to convince myself that this was, a temporary situation. And the ongoing rationalizations continued to justify Madoff's lack of self-control. I just didn't give it enough thought. I wasn't frightened enough to say to myself, I can't do this. I can't take this risk. So, take an up till then moderately successful man with an unhappy childhood, add murky ethical boundaries, some logical sounding rationalizations, colossal moral indifference, and lots of money. And there you get the man who bilked trusting individuals out of $18 billion. I was rereading the story of David's rape of Bathsheba and his plot to eliminate her husband Uriah. It contains the very same sorts of rationalizations, edginess, excuses, thoughtlessness, and amorality that Bernie Madoff exhibited. Leaders, workers, parents today are no freer of those ancient temptations than Madoff was, at least up until last week. And I also pondered Jesus' commandment to love one another as we love ourselves. I think it's not just a directive to love someone else as much as we love ourselves, but it's certainly acknowledging that all of our love has one source, that other love and self-love is really the same love coming from the same place. That we love others with the same capacity we have to love ourselves or anyone else. So Madoff, who was described as an associate as having an extraordinary lack of empathy, had no capacity for empathy because he'd never received it. He had no well to draw from. He had no compassion for others because he was such a stranger to compassion himself. His cold criminality flowed out of a brilliant mind and a cold heart. Bernie Madoff, for all his achievement, never learned how to love. And so it was that at his sentencing in 2009, when the judge invited character witnesses, no one came forward. No one stood up. No one filed any supporting affidavits or requests for leniency because no one was there for him. And now, no one is mourning Bernie Madoff. The moral of this sad story is yours to write. Surely it will include words like empathy, love, compassion, accountability, honesty, and make sure you add the word legacy. And write your moral carefully, because nothing could be more important. Thank you for watching and for sharing this with someone else. You might mention to your pastor or rabbi that I'm preparing 10 sermon starter videos on the 10 Bible readings about David included in this summer's lectionary, that you and they can learn more about preaching and hearing David's story in a worship context. That's coming on this website soon. Thanks again. Have a great week, and God bless you.